There's many legends of the post-World War I hockey era across North America, and probably the area that you don't expect to have laid the foundation for pro hockey in the States is Pittsburgh. But what this team did well before the Pittsburgh Hornets has drawn so much recognition and respect over the years, we have to do a podcast on them. Now today we're talking about a squad that broke ground in many ways, the Pittsburgh Yellow Jackets. They were the name of two separate ice hockey teams based in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The original team played from 1915 to 25. They evolved from being an amateur squad to a semi-pro team and are one of the earliest sports organizations in the city. The Yellow Jackets played primarily in the United States Amateur Hockey Association, and after winning the title in 24 and 25, the Yellow Jackets were sold to attorney James Callahan and soon became the Pittsburgh Pirates of the NHL. However, after the demise of the Pirates in 1930, a second club, founded by the owner of the original club, debuted in the IHL as a professional entity before reverting to an amateur club in 1934. The team would finish its run in the EAHL before finally folding in 1937. Now, the first version of the Yellow Jackets came after a career in local politics when Roy Schooley, a former hockey referee in the Western Pennsylvania Hockey League, founded the Yellow Jackets as an amateur team in 1915. As with all American teams of this era, the Yellow Jackets fell under jurisdiction of the International Skating Union. For 6 years, the club played in independent competitions. But in late 1920, the United States Amateur Hockey Association was formed, with Yellow Jackets officials Schooley and W.S. Haddock serving as co-founders and respectively acting as the league's secretary-treasurer and president. The Yellow Jackets played exhibition games against other USAHA clubs in its inaugural season before joining the league full-time in 1921. According to sports reporter Paul Sullivan, who covered a lot of sports at the time, primarily for Pittsburgh Gazette-Times, the USAHA wasn't a completely amateur league. He noted that even though the USAHA was called an amateur league, they didn't come down from Canada because he thought Pittsburgh was a nice place to live. This leads one to believe that money was paid out to the top players in the association. The eastern teams of USAHA soon imported Canadian players to add to the rosters of local skaters. In 1923, Schooley had invited the great Lionel Conacher, a future Hall of Famer and considered one of the greatest athletes in Canadian history, to come to Pittsburgh and officiate games in February of 23 to see if the crowd would take to him. Schooley then asked Conacher to play with the Pittsburgh Yellow Jackets in a 4-game series against his former team, the Toronto Orioles hockey squad, and against the Hamilton Tigers. Conacher impressed the Pittsburgh fans by scoring 11 of the Yellow Jackets' 23 goals in 4 games. Conacher, then under the guidance of Roy Schooley, transformed the Yellow Jackets lineup to an almost Canadian squad. Schooley then used his connections in the Pittsburgh media to promote Conacher to the city's hockey fans. After seeing how well the fans took to Conacher, Schooley made him the team's captain and asked him to invite a number of his friends to play for the Yellow Jackets. These players included Harold Cotton, Hib Milks, Harold Dara, Roger Smith, Duke McCurry, Tex White, and the great goalie Roy Werters. Now, Dick Carroll, who had coached the Toronto Arenas to the Stanley Cup in 1918, was appointed the team's coach once Conacher and his teammates arrived in Pittsburgh for the 24 season by Schooley. However, the use of Canadian players drew criticism, with the Boston-based teams leading the charge. In one instance, the Boston Herald questioned why Boston hockey was hooked up with Pittsburgh and all. After all, the best hockey in Boston is played by our own boys, and Pittsburgh hockey is played mainly by a bunch of traveling mercenaries who practically are all of Canadian birth and training. Some circles also referred to the Yellow Jackets as Pittsburgh Canadians. These imported players joined current Yellow Jackets players Renison Mariners and Herb Drury, who had just won a silver medal as a member of the U.S. Olympic hockey team. Now, in the Yellow Jackets' opening game at Duquesne Gardens, Conacher scored a hat-trick. The Yellow Jackets posted a 15-5 record for the 24 campaign to earn first place in the league's Western Division. Pittsburgh then defeated the critical Boston Athletic Association to win the Fellows Cup 4-1 in playoffs. A Boston newspaper, the Boston Traveler, on January 21, 1924, termed the Yellow Jackets a wonder team, and another account referred to Conacher as Canada's wonder athlete. The trio of Roger Smith, Conacher, and Roy Werthers was part of the Pittsburgh's Stonewall defense. The Yellow Jackets were so dominant by 1925 that he spun off another Pittsburgh team named the Fort Pitt Hornets, who played the Eastern Division. Redison Manners, who was a player, coach, and manager of the Yellow Jackets up until 1923, when they were only a 500 club, still played for the team during the 24 season. However, the following season he joined the crosstown Fort Pitt side. In their 25 season, the Yellow Jackets finished their regular campaign with a 15-3-2 first season half record for first place in the Western Group, followed by a 10-2 second half record for second place in the West. The Yellow Jackets will go on to defeat their crosstown rivals, the Fort Pitt Hornets, at the Duquesne Gardens, and win their second Fellows Cup 4-1. Now, the Yellow Jackets stopped playing after the USAHA folded at the end of the 25 season. When Schooley encountered financial problems, he sold the team to James Callahan, a lawyer from Pittsburgh's Lawrenceville. Callahan was granted an NHL expansion team and simply transferred the Yellow Jackets into the NHL as his expansion club, keeping the entire roster of the Yellow Jackets intact. Schooley wanted to keep the rights to the Yellow Jackets name per the sale of the club, so Callahan renamed the team when it entered the NHL. He chose the Pittsburgh Pirates, stealing the name from the baseball club, something the new NFL team would also do 8 years later. Callahan kept the Yellow Jackets' black and yellow uniforms, but simply modified the P logo on the front and had a word mark arch over the P that read Pirates. Because of this, the NHL club also wore a black and yellow color combination before the Major League Baseball team did, who at the time were red, white, and blue. Now, the Pirates made it to the Stanley Cup semifinals within a year and were also barely nudged out of the playoffs. In 1926, the playoff series was just 2 games long, with total goals deciding the issue. The Pirates, who finished third in the 7-team NHL, lost to the Montreal Maroons 3-1 in the opener and tied 3-3 in Montreal in the second game. The Maroons' 6-4 edge in goals gave them the series, and they went on to win the Stanley Cup in 26. Although among the Jackets-turned-Pirates were 2 future Hockey Hall of Famers, Lionel Conacher and goalie Roy Werthers. The Pirates would operate from 25 until 1930. Now, the second version of the Yellow Jackets organized after the Pirates left Pittsburgh and became the short-lived Philadelphia Quakers in 1930 due to issues relating to the Great Depression and the failure to find a replacement for the aging Duquesne Gardens. Shortly afterwards, Schooley applied for an expansion franchise in the International Hockey League. He gave the team the name of Yellow Jackets, which he still had the rights to, and the team competed in the IHL for only 2 seasons. Now in 32, the Yellow Jackets were a farm team for the Blackhawks, who often took several of their key players in mid-season. Now, before March 32 game against the Bisons, Pittsburgh Doc Rooms was recalled to Chicago to aid the team in their NHL title chase, and this left the Yellow Jackets coach, Charlie Reed, to constantly change his forward lines. Also in 32, the Yellow Jackets were purchased by Pittsburgh theater chain owner John Harris. However, the Yellow Jackets were having financial problems, despite the support Pittsburgh's fans gave them, leaving some doubt as to whether the team would operate in 1933. On August 22, 32, it was reported that the defunct Pittsburgh Pirates would be returned to the NHL for the upcoming season. The news put the Yellow Jackets in limbo, since the Pirates still held territorial rights and could deny the team permission to operate. However, the trust company that owned the Jackets had a right to deny the NHL team the right to play at the Gardens. However, the optimism was short-lived, and on October 1st, 32, the Pirates formally suspended operations. During all this, the Yellow Jackets remained dormant and did not play at all between 32 and 34. In 34, they reactivated, but as an independent, playing various exhibition games against other squads. The club would return to league play when, on October 29, 35, the Montreal Gazette reported that the Yellow Jackets had joined the Eastern U.S. Amateur Hockey League with the New York Rovers. During the team's final 3 seasons of play, the great Frank Brimsek, served as the team's goaltender. Brimesque would go on to win 252 games in goal, which gave him the record for winningest American-born netminder. His record would stand until 1994, when Tom Barrasso and the NHL's Pittsburgh Penguins defeated the Jets 5-3 at the Pittsburgh Civic Arena. Now, the Yellow Jackets had a hand in providing Pittsburgh with another pro hockey team, the Pittsburgh Shamrocks. The idea for the Shamrocks team came about when Yellow Jackets owner John Harris and Charles King, president of the International American Hockey League, met in Pittsburgh to discuss Pittsburgh's possible entrance in the league in the fall. The meeting resulted in the establishment of Shamrocks and established the Gardens Ice Time, which is split by a new IHL team and the Yellow Jackets, who became the newest members of the EAHL. During his tenure as owner of the Yellow Jackets, John Harris made two notable decisions. First, on March 31st, 36, he hired Sonja Henie, 24-year-old Norwegian figure skater, to perform before a Yellow Jackets game, leading the creation of the Ice Capades. Then on October 4, 36, he purchased the Detroit Olympics and moved the team to Pittsburgh, where they were renamed the Pittsburgh Hornets. Some players from the Yellow Jackets and Shamrocks players then joined the Hornets. Because of this, after the 37th season, the club would fold. Now, the second version of the Hornets did not make the postseason in 31, 32, and 37, and were second in the EHL in 36. Now, the Yellow Jackets wore yellow wool jerseys with a P in the front in 1924. The wool jerseys featured black felt lettering and would become the Pirates' first set of jerseys. The team used the Pittsburgh City Crest emblems on their uniform sleeves, and John McMahon, a sports writer for the Pittsburgh Press, once referred to the color of the home jerseys as a dingy mustard yellow. When the Yellow Jackets evolved into the city's first NHL team, the Pirates, the color scheme again followed. In fact, when the city's second initial team, the Penguins, wanted to change their uniform colors from blue and white to black and gold, a move protested by the Bruins, the Pirates' Yellow Jacket jerseys were showcased as precedents for the move. Now, Yellow Jackets who are in the Hockey Hall of Fame, including Frank Brimsack, Lionel Conacher, the pride of New Brunswick, Gordie Drell, and of course, Roy Werters. Now, as it stands right now, Pittsburgh hockey is nearing almost 100 years at what he called the minor or major league level, and well-deserved. Pittsburgh's a great place for hockey. Sidney Crosby, who I covered in 2003 at the Canada Games before he was drafted by Pittsburgh, always said that he felt proud to put on a Pittsburgh jersey because of the legacy of all the teams in Pittsburgh history. And Pittsburgh is a winning city, we all know this, especially in the 1970s, for obvious reasons. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I would encourage anybody to look at the Pittsburgh Hornets colors for any type of sports franchise. It stands out, and from a photographer's standpoint, you look good, you play good. That's all I can say. So that's our latest on our AHL Vintage Podcast, or Minor Pro Podcast. Give us a like, comment, or subscribe. As we like to say up north your way, keep your stick in the ice. Have a good day. Bye.